Greetings, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and welcome to your July 2021 General Love Reading. I trust that you have been doing well. Before we go ahead and get started, I did want to mention a few things regarding the energies. So please note that this is a general reading for those who resonate with the sign of Aquarius, meaning this message may not resonate with every Aquarius out there. If this is not your story, then please do not try to make it fit. Tarot is energy work, so we want to ensure that we're using it responsibly and maturely. And so, we give forth great love and honoring. Let's go ahead and begin your reading. All right, Aquarius. So before we get into the reading, I did want to get a few oracles to see what words of advice we have for you in the month of July, or really any time that you receive this message. As we know, time is not linear, so this message may resonate at any time that it is received. So please, Spirit, give me one card for my beautiful Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know for the month of July 2021? I said 2021, I think, right? But either way, we have lost and found. What was once lost is about to be found, thanks to the lost and found fairy. Sometimes she can help us find things we never even realized were lost. So this is interesting because one, this card has been coming out in many of the readings, so I feel like collectively this is an energy that many people may be experiencing. But even on a more personal level here, Aquarius, for a lot of you, there's something that you may have thought was gone for good. It could be an object, it could be an opportunity or some sort of connection relationship. And it seems that something is being returned to you. And for many of you, it's something that you may have put away or let go of such a long time ago that now that it's being returned to you, it's almost like you didn't even realize that it was lost, if that makes sense. So please give me one more card for Aquarius. Thank you. So we also have ask for help. Angels are celestial beings who protect everyone. And essentially what this is telling you is that for many of you, you will be receiving some form of assistance. So regardless if you don't believe in angels or whatever it is, really what it's saying is that there's going to be very positive energies that are surrounding you and essentially going to help to guide you in the right direction. Okay, this can also come in the form of not even just seeing things like angels and physical external beings, but on the opposite end of this, for many of you Aquarius, this is simply your intuition guiding you, your inner sense of knowing and wisdom guiding you in terms of the decisions that you make and the direction that you're ultimately going. Okay, so please give me one more card. Thank you. We also have inspiration. Be prepared, as you'll soon receive a visit from a fairy of inspiration. Come dusk or dawn, she can call at any time. So this is very interesting. I feel like for a lot of you, inspiration is such an amazing tool to have because this is really where creativity comes from, as well as passion and drive. And for a lot of you, perhaps you've been in a place where you haven't necessarily felt very motivated. I do see that, the inspiration and the energetic push that you need will be manifest for you soon. Okay. So Aquarius, let's go ahead and begin the reading. I'm going to pull some cards first for you, the feminine, and then we're going to pull for the masculine. However, as we do all have masculine and feminine energy within each and every single one of us, if you do feel that the roles must be reversed, then please do so, as you do know your own story best. All right, so let's see what the romance angels have to say. So please give me one card. Thank you. So we have past life relationship. You have known each other before. So this is telling me right off the bat, Aquarius, for many of you, you will be coming into some form of a connection where either you have known this individual in this lifetime or yes, in other lifetimes. Because remember that even within this life, we can still undergo and have past lives. There's different versions of you that are buried and long gone, yet they still were once a version of you. And for some of you Aquarius, you can really reflect back on to certain stages of your life. And it's almost like you are viewing somebody else completely. That's how much of a huge change that some of you have made. Okay, so for this individual, it could very well be somebody that you have known in a different time in your life, or again, yes, in past lifetimes. We also have let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. So this situation could be met with some inner resistance, one or both parties wanting the partnership to go in a specific direction. And that can oftentimes cause a lot of distortion, because if you are not vibrationally on the same frequency as somebody else, then again, not only are you going to be met with resistance, but you are also going to essentially see this play out in other areas of your life as well. Okay, because essentially what an energetic distortion really does is that it's not just completely clear to us all the time. We live in a paradoxical reality, meaning that if there's something wrong internally, then externally we're going to see it reflected back to us in some way, shape, or form. And it's up to us to really connect the dots and make it known to ourselves and confront certain aspects such as these. So let's see. We also have free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. All right. So you have to remember with this card, Aquarius, this is telling some of you that you are very unique, special beings who have so much to offer. And you may be in a headspace or have some sort of belief that you're somehow not capable of all that you wish and desire to bring into your life. And if that's the case, it's really just you limiting yourself. So with this card, there's a unicorn here, okay? A unicorn is a mythical creature, and essentially it really does have a deep meaning when you go deeply into it. It really speaks to an androgynous being, a highly awakened being, and the rarity of somebody actually reaching such a level of heightened consciousness and awareness. And what I feel like for many of you is that you have that potential laying within you, like it's already there, it already exists. And yet, there may be some fear of really letting yourself become all of that. Okay. And that could, again, I feel like it's more than anything, Aquarius, it's mental. It's not actual physical blockages or anything of that nature that's pulling you back, or, that doesn't allow you to make progress. All it really is the limitations of the mind. So this is calling for many of you to learn your preconceived limitations and then transcend them. Okay. We also have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So this would be a very auspicious time for many of you to actually take a step back from the mainstream, if you will. So if you're an individual that perhaps watches the news and keeps up with world events often, or you are on social media, regardless if it's Instagram or YouTube or anything like that, we can find that we spend a lot of time in front of a screen, right? And this is telling many of you that there's a big need to actually step away from perhaps the electronics and the digital world and really connect more with nature, doing things like going for walks, and also doing these things with other people as well is going to really help to strengthen your relationships also. Okay, so Aquarius, let's go ahead now and get some cards first for you. I am going to use the Heal Yourself Oracle cards. So please give me one card, thank you. Beautiful. So we have number 16, Inner Child. This could be the part of yourself that is desiring to be freed, Aquarius. And what is so unfortunate is that I feel there's so much resistance met with the term inner child, especially for those who had struggles in early childhood or teenage years, because they might not necessarily reflect upon that time as something that was ideal. And if that is the case for you, that does indicate that you actually do have a suppressed inner child, a part of you that wishes to be happy and free and curious about life and vulnerable, yet is restricted because unfortunately many of you may have had to grow up too soon. You may have had to, you may have been exposed to things that essentially cause traumas and other sorts of pain or grief. And so, what's beautiful about the inner child is that it's a part of us that it never disappears. It's always within, but it gets suppressed. Right? We all have the ability to be playful and joyful and kind and loving. And it's just a matter of if we allow that to be lived out in this reality or not. So for many of you, there's going to be a beautiful reconnection with your inner child, where you're embodying more of these energies and doing more of the things that maybe you even loved as a child or a youth, if you will. Things like doing art and, perhaps music, singing, dancing, creativity. The inner child is really it's such a vital part of our existence. And, I do really hope that you take this information, Aquarius, and really try to connect more with that side of yourself, because it actually opens up doors. We have number 16, 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 speaks to a portal or a gateway or some form of change. So I feel like this is a necessary change to advance you to the next stage of your life. We also have number 15, Wild. So I do feel that for some of you, not only will you be experiencing this awakening of the inner child and that playful energy, but also perhaps the sexual energy as well, which is really also linked to that, right? We have this life force energy within us throughout our entire life. And again, going back into it, how it works is, I'm sure many of you have heard of the 7 chakras. I just realized we also have 15 and 16 here. But essentially how it works is that on the base of the spine is the sacrum, and that's where the energy first begins to develop, even as we are children and things like this. So the first energy is essentially the root, and that has to do with our sense of security, safety, grounding, all of that. And it develops in the first 1 to 7 years of your life. And if there has been traumas and other sorts of incidents that occur during that time, then you may actually experience in your adulthood, and as you continue to grow and develop, you still experience certain types of traumas or have a tendency to repeat certain cycles because there was an interruption in the growing process, if you will. So this is why it's so necessary and so crucial to do energetic healing. And I'm sorry to keep going back into that, Aquarius, but I really do see that for many of you, you will benefit by not many of you, really anybody will benefit by doing energy work, okay? So we have number 15, wild, okay? So this is interesting because what drew my attention was this dragon on her boat. And essentially the dragon does represent Kundalini or Christ consciousness energy. Again, how it works is that there is a fluid or an energy that resides in the base of your spine. And again, through different times in your life, it can get stopped if it doesn't have the chance to fully develop. And for many of you, your energy, especially if she's wearing red here, the red actually would indicate the sacral chakra, the sexual energy point. And this is really where our creativity comes from, because that is actually our energetic container. Especially if you are female, you will have a physical womb. This is our creation and our manifestation center. And for a lot of you, there could be something linked to the inner child again, is suppressing the sexual energy, or has suppressed the sexual energy that is waiting to be awakened within you, okay? And that could be that makes a lot of sense, as we have the inspiration card here as well, Aquarius, right? So for many of you, you're drawing up inspiration and creativity from that sacral energy point. And that's going to serve to give you the inspiration that you need in order to, transcend, in order to actually overcome blockages and things that you feel may have been holding you back, okay? So let's go ahead and continue here. I'm going to pull the tarot for you first, Aquarius, and then we will go ahead and pull some cards for the person that you may be dealing with. Can you please give me one card for my Aquarius? Thank you. So we have the 6 of Swords. As we know, the 6 of Swords speaks to a transition, if you will, a time of restoring harmony after a time of conflict. Okay, so some of you, there may have been some form of thing, again, especially with lost and found, there may have been something that felt as though it was lost, but you're on your journey towards finding something greater. However, due to some mental baggage that you may be still carrying with you, because remember, Aquarius, the Sword speaks to air energy, which is essentially communication and information. And I feel that, again, this is telling you, do you see how those swords are in front of her? And even though there's beautiful things to see in the future and they're going towards something that is more harmonious, this individual their judgment may be clouded. And essentially, it's reminding you that by releasing certain mental baggage that is no longer necessary, you will be able to get to your destination much quicker, okay? So for many of you, it's the reminder as well that it's okay to have a breakdown. It's okay to, not be okay sometimes. But at the same time, you can't simply unpack and stay there. You must get yourself together and carry on. That's why Free Yourself is here. So please give me one more card. Thank you. So we have the Page of Swords here. I feel that there was a situation that you may have been involved in where maybe you weren't mentally prepared for the situation, or not quite as mentally prepared as you initially thought, Aquarius, okay? And there may be still some regrets around how you conducted yourself or the actions that you took. But again, this is telling you that by revisiting the past, or by, replaying certain moments especially, they cannot be gone back to, right? And so this is why dwelling on the past really serves no purpose, right? Yeah, because we have the Three of Wands. And this is really what you are being asked to shift your perspective onto now, is that there is still more possibilities for the future. There are new horizons, okay? There's going to be many things as well that inspire you, but you know, it does show that this individual, they're still holding on to one of those wands there. So they're a little bit reluctant to let go. And that's oftentimes because when we do explore new lands, when we go to the next chapter of our life, things are going to be unfamiliar because it's new, right? But in doing so, we can oftentimes be met with doubt that we made the right decision and other such things. So for some of you, it is going to require a little bit of faith within yourself as well, right? You do have the card saying ask for help, right? Ask the universe for a sign and omen, and the universe will communicate with you. It really is actually that simple. It's just, you know, sometimes we forget that it's there. And it's so interesting. It's a very old saying, Aquarius, that they say of God, whether you think it's a he or she or both or none, it doesn't matter, because they say if God would choose to hide anywhere, then God would hide within man and woman, because that is the last place that they would look, right? So just remember that there is sentience always within you, that life is indeed a gift. And yeah, the things that may have brought you pain, brought you grief and suffering, and kind of made a mess in your life, just know that that is the last and final time that it will be able to bring you that form of suffering. Okay, so, you know, I do see that the transition may have been a struggle for many of you, but you are on the verge of freeing yourself by letting yourself explore something new, something greater, something more in alignment with who you genuinely are at a soul-based level. We also have the Eight of Wands, okay? So there could be some form of communication or direct action that is taken towards you, or perhaps this is what you are considering doing for some of you, Aquarius, but we will get a deeper look into what this can be about. And also on the bottom, we do have the Page of Cups, okay? So some of you are in store for some sort of surprise, something that is going to catch you off guard. But also remember that the Page of Cups is a reminder not to, whatever this is that comes in and takes you off guard, not to get emotionally overwhelmed by it, because the Page of Cups, they're on their way towards becoming the King or Queen of Cups, right? Somebody who is very emotionally balanced. However, with the Page of Cups, because they still have some skills and learning to do and development, this is indicating that they may be prone to being a little bit over emotional or not quite able to control the emotion, right? So we have the Star here as well, which is your energy. And the Star is always about receiving some form of recognition for really truly your gifts and genuinely just being yourself authentically. Whenever you see someone pictured in the nude in tarot, this indicates somebody who is expressing the strength of vulnerability, the ability to be seen as they authentically are without the fear of judgment or rejection, right? And that's why Aquarius energy is something so technological and advanced, right? Because it really does speak to a heightened state of awareness. Many of you, that is going to be your purpose in this lifetime, is to bring this more free-thinking way of being to the collective conscious as well. Oh, and there's the King of Cups. Interesting. So this surprise message, because it does look as though for many of you with the Eight of Wands appearing here, you will be receiving some sort of surprise message, and it could be from the King of Cups, okay? This is an individual who, regardless, they do not have to be a water sign, but if they are, this speaks to Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, okay? This person may actually have those placements strongly in their natal chart as well, such as a Scorpio moon or other such placements. So, you know, either way, this is an energy that somebody is embodying. And, Temperance is here, which is Sagittarius energy, of course, and the Two of Cups. So for some of you, there may be some sort of surprise information coming in from an individual who is a twin flame, and the only reason why I'm going to stretch as far to say that this person is indeed a twin flame is because you have past life relationship. You have known each other before. So for many of you, it seems that as you are finally approaching the end of a particular cycle or chapter in your life, by doing so, you're actually coming into alignment with your genuine twin flame. Because you are awakening, because you are allowing yourself to be who you are, again, at an authentic soul-based level, an emotional, energetic level, this is it seems that you will be stepping right into something that is in alignment with who you really are. And that's what I meant about that concept of something that was lost and then found, is that for many of you, with this individual, this King of Cups energy, it does seem as though you will feel that way when you come into alignment. And you will almost have this sense of familiarity that even if you have not yet met this person or really known this person, you intrinsically know that it's not the first time that your souls have met, that, you know, you may have shared lifetimes together before. So let's go ahead now and see what is going on this individual side of things, okay? And actually, before we do so, let's get one last oracle for you, Aquarius. Just want to clarify anything else we may need to know. I'm going to use the Sacred Destiny. So please give me one card for my Aquarius. So we have happiness, okay? This is very interesting because this is another card that does indicate twin flame union, right? You may have even heard of the esoteric term dolphins in the flame. And what this is really speaking to is the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming into union and ultimately being free sovereign beings. Though they are separate, they are still together as one. With dolphins, they are said to mate with the same partner for life or bond with the same partner for life. And also on an interesting note, we know that dolphins are incredibly highly aware. They're almost like an alien species of their own, and they live in the sea, and they are completely free, right? They're not necessarily governed by laws or any other restrictions that humans have. And, you know, they say that even dolphins are the only other species than humans that has sex for pleasure, right? And so, yeah, it's just very interesting to see the symbology here, because again, it's telling me that for many of you, there is this sense of freedom and happiness that will be met with coming into connection with this person, okay? And for many of you, yes, this is a twin flame, okay? Interesting. We also have inner peace, which we see the two koi fish. This could be indicative of somebody who is Pisces. We did have the King of Cups, so some of you may be, again, dealing with somebody who has Pisces in their chart very strongly. They can even have a Venus in Pisces, which is interesting as well, because your Venus placement indicates how you love. So despite the fact that you are an Aquarius, right, it doesn't matter if you, perhaps you have a Venus in the sign of Libra, then it means that you are going to, even though you're an Aquarius and you may think like an Aquarius or act as a Aquarius nature, you are, the way that you approach love is that of one who is of Libra nature or Venusian energy, right? So very interesting to see here. But with inner peace, you know, I do feel a sense of calm. Many of you are going to be, or it could even be this person. I feel like this person has a sense of inner peace and quiet courage and faith. This person seems to be very strong. We also have blessings here as well. There's such beautiful energies appearing here for you, Aquarius, and I feel that this is going to be deeply in connection with this person that you will be coming into alignment with. So let's go ahead and get some cards for this individual now. So please give me one card. What does Aquarius need to know? Interesting. So we have Shiva, the destroyer. Note that Shiva is the divine masculine counterpart to Kali, who is the divine feminine. And both of them have their higher and lower polarities, meaning that any true alchemist understands the concept of elements and things having order. And sometimes certain things must be destroyed only to be broken down and given space to create something new. Right? This is actually the process of nature as well, and natural law is the highest of law. Okay, so this is interesting because many of you, again, it could have been something has been taken away because it is indeed making space for something greater. Okay, we also have Zeus, leadership. This is very Jupiterian energy. Zeus is linked to that energy. So for some of you, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, so it does not have to be. Either way, to have leadership is to be somebody who has confidence and faith again. And I sense that about this individual. It seems that they're very self-aware, as well as they have no problem taking on responsibility. They have no problem having to be the one who makes major decisions if they're called upon, okay? But let's see here. For some of you as well, this individual, in terms of the work that they do, they could be some form of coach or mentor. They could be the owner of a business or even perhaps an entrepreneur. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. I'm going to get one more card for this person. I'm going to use the Oracle of the House of Night. So please give me one card. Thank you. So we have the Moon. This is very interesting. The moon reminds us of phases and cycles. And with the full moon is actually when something comes into fruition or is illuminated to us. By the way that a full moon works is when the sun and the moon are in opposition from one another. And so therefore the moon is fully illuminated by the sun's light. Okay, so essentially what I'm seeing here is that for many of you, you could be sensing intuitively that this person's energy is near. Okay, but let's see what else we have. On the bottom, we have wishing, 19, wishing. Interesting to know 1 + 9 = 10. Do you see these arches here in the background? This is very similar to the arches or sometimes the rainbow that you will see in both the 10 of Pentacles as well as the 10 of Cups. This symbology oftentimes indicates the abundance or the completion, if you will. And I feel that for many of you, you may have been on a path, or maybe it's this individual, where it seems as though they may have been wishing or hoping, even on their side of things. As I mentioned, it really feels like this concept of something being lost and found, where this person may have been, in terms of love, dwelling and feeling as though, you know, love was that type of connectivity was out of reach. Okay, they could have lost a little bit of their faith. Let's see what else we have here. I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot. Oops. So please give me one card here. Thank you. Interesting. We have the 9 of Cups. So this is telling me that it almost feels as though this person is indeed having a wish come true, because the 9 of Cups does speak to wish fulfillment. And, you know, it is on their side of things that we have this wishing energy. So it does feel as though something that they have dreamed or longed for is going to be given to them. Okay, but let's see what else we have. Please give me one more card for this person. Interesting. We have the Knight of Swords. So very ambitious energy. Okay. The Knight of Swords is somebody who is willing to win at all costs. That's not necessarily always something that's negative. It again requires a lot of courage in order to do so. And this person does have that courage energy showing through here, telling me that they're kind of ready to weather any storm, and kind of take the necessary sacrifices if need be in order to come towards you, in order to, you know, make this connection work. So this is very interesting. This is, I don't see this as that foolish type of Knight of Swords. You know, oftentimes the Knight of Swords is the concepts of fool's Russian, and often he's pictured with his helmet being open, and he's just, you know, being very impulsive, if you will. But with this Knight of Swords, even though he's charging forward, it's with confidence and faith, and he looks very regal in his armor. Okay, so I do feel that they have what it takes to overcome obstacles, to overcome whatever challenges may arise. Okay, so please give me one card here. Oh, wow, we have the Knight of Cups. I feel that why this person is so willing, Aquarius, to do whatever is necessary in order to come towards you is because they genuinely are on a quest for love. They genuinely wished for this type of connection to come into their life, and by coming into connection or alignment with you, for them, this is something that they feel they must pursue. Please give me one more card here. Thank you. We have Temperance here again. So some of you, again, could be dealing with a Sagittarius, or someone, again, who has strong Jupiterian placements in their chart. This is interesting to see because we see the elements of fire and water being tempered together. This is a thing that is thought to be impossible. So this card does speak to miraculous events. And I feel that there was a little bit of this mindset in this person's head that to have what they want, it could be somehow out of reach or impossible. And it's being made possible, okay, through some sort of miraculous event. This person, they're feeling as though they're coming into union with their other half. We also have the Queen of Pentacles here as well. So this is interesting because this tells me that what this person values and what they desire is somebody who they feel they can rely on, somebody who they feel is either husband or wife material, that they will be consistent and that they are a stable partner, a good match, if you will. And knowing that the Queen of Pentacles is oftentimes a mother or a wife, this individual, it seems that, you know, they could even desire somebody who has the qualities of somebody who fulfills that role, okay? Meaning that what I feel this person, their intention is to grow with you, to establish with you, to build something, okay? But let's see here. We also have on the bottom the Two of Pentacles, okay? It seems that this person is being faced with a decision. What's so interesting to see is that there's another dolphin here in the water that's behind him, and there's a ship that's sailing away into the moonlight. And what I feel like for many of you is that this person, it seems as though they've had to make a decision, a quick decision about something, because they don't want their ship to sail away, if you will, their promise of love and adventure. And we have the Eight of Wands here again. So this is telling me that there is definitely going to be some sort of communication from this person that's going to be quite direct. They could have been in a place where they have had to sit back and contemplate certain aspects of their life or the decision that they're going to make. And it seems like this person has a realization that they're in a much better position than they may have initially believed themselves to be, in order to take on whatever, again, obstacles come their way. So what I feel like is that this person has made this decision, or they will be making the decision to, again, destroy any challenges or obstacles that may come in the way between the two of you. But what's interesting for you, Aquarius, is to note that this Three of Wands energy is facing away from the Knight of Swords. So there could be something here, especially if this is, again, a past life relationship type of energy. For many of you, this could be something that you have previously already walked away from. This might not be the case for everyone, but for some of you, there's something about you being ready to embark on a new journey, you releasing yourself from wounding of the past and, you know, envisioning a new future for yourself. This is what brings this person into alignment to you. This is how you have somehow summoned them or drawn them in, okay? So let's see what else we have here. I'm going to use, let's go ahead and use the Light Seers Tarot. So can you tell me, please, anything else about this dynamic? What does Aquarius need to know regarding this connection? Thank you. So we have the Two of Swords. We'll get a little bit more here because I want to see what the Two of Swords may be speaking about. We have number 13, death and rebirth. Okay. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Lovers, which is soulmate energy. Please give me one more card. Too many votes, I'm not going to take them. I just want one more card, please. Please give me one card. Did something flip? Thank you. We also have the Devil here. Okay. I will say, Aquarius, as there is two Knights here, we did see the Two of Cups and we did see the Lovers, which speak to two different types of connections. One is a soulmate and one is a twin flame. And I do feel that one of these Knights is a past lover and one of these knights is someone who is brand new, okay? And what is interesting to see is that for both of these individuals, they view you as the Queen of Pentacles, which also does indicate that perhaps for some of you, you are still more mature, perhaps, in terms of love and connections, right? Than even both of these knights. Because the Queen is still at a higher caliber, if you will, than the Knight. And so this indicates that the Queen is somebody who has earned her throne. She's no longer in search of something. And I feel like what that is indicating is that for a lot of you, you have come home within yourself. You are no longer in a place where you're searching externally for answers and needing reassurance from something outside of you. You recognize that all of that abundance, it flows from you, right? And the Queen of Pentacles is also the pre-Empress energy as well, right? And what that really speaks to is divine feminine energy. So it's almost as if by you recognizing your value and worth, it almost puts you as on a pedestal, if you will. And I hate to put it in that term because I don't mean it from like an egoistic or narcissistic way. What I mean is that, you know, to see the 9 of Cups here in the center, there could even be a little bit of competition between these two different knights coming up here, okay? And what's interesting to know is that with the 2 of Pentacles, for some of you, you may definitely have to make a decision between two actual people, as the pentagram is the human being, right? You have 1 head, 2 arms, and 2 legs, the 5-pointed star. And what's interesting is that pentacles speak to something that is in the physical reality, that is tangible, that you can see it, feel it, touch it. So what I feel like is that for some of you, there may actually be a decision between a Knight of Swords as well as a Knight of Cups, someone known and someone new. Okay. And I feel that with both of these knights as well, Aquarius, whatever one that you choose is ultimately going to be, they're going to both lead you down 2 very different paths, okay? And what I feel like is that this individual of the past, okay, they are the ones who is appearing here as the Lovers and the Devil, meaning that this may be a karmic connection that is perhaps needing to be released. The Devil has this individual here essentially on strings, you know, so this person could have been somebody who led you on, who what's the term? Strung you along in some way, drained your energy in some way, okay? And it does seem as though there is this huge level of temptation around that connection, even so. So you can find that you were very physically attracted to this individual, okay, perhaps very sexually or magnetically drawn to this individual. And what I feel like for many of you is that this soul contract is what you are being asked to free yourself from, okay? Because again, you need to recognize for many of you, you are that unicorn. You are this enchanting being that is being trapped or suppressed perhaps due to a connection that no longer serves you. That it's really being called that you now reflect upon the lessons and the experience that you've gained and move towards something that is more simple, okay? Because if we have the 2 of Swords and death and rebirth appearing here, this is telling me that, you know, whatever this connection was, it may have kept you in a place of indecision, of feeling as though you couldn't necessarily move forward. And there was ultimately a great transformation that you made by being in this place of deep meditation and reflection. And with the 2 of Swords, it's reminding you that what you have really learned is you've not only gained wisdom and experience by going through this, but you've also gained greater intuition and self-knowing as well, okay? And I do feel that for some of you, this person of the past, perhaps you share children with them, or they have a child or you have a child. There could be something of that nature involved. Somebody could be a single parent. But what I also see the 6 of Cups as is it does speak to reminiscing upon simpler times. And perhaps that is why you have had a little bit of reluctance of letting go, right? We see that this individual is still holding on to this 1 wand. And even though there's all of this opportunity before them, you know, they haven't really been able to take that final step in order to bring them to the 4 of Wands. And I feel like that's because perhaps you may still reminisce about times between you and this person that were good, that showed a lot of potential, that were simple. But really what it's showing is that all things are subject to change with death and rebirth. Cycles must continue to repeat. Time waits for no man, no woman. Death and rebirth is Saturn energy, right? Saturn is Chronos. He is the god of time. All things born in time die in time. That's why it's important to know, again, that the soul is infinite, that you are sovereign, that you can never be trapped. Your soul is ever transcending and ever flowing. And this should empower you to know that, again, if all things are subject to change, oftentimes things can feel like a loss, but actually we gain something greater in return. Okay. And in this case, it's not only greater knowledge of yourself, Aquarius, but it's also greater wisdom in terms of how you conduct yourself in the future. Okay, so many of you have learned very powerful lessons from this previous past life connection type of relationship. Okay, and on the bottom we do have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands speaks to something provoking your curiosity. So it's not even just the potential of something, but now something tangible has actually appeared. And what I feel like is that this is this new person's energy who, yes, they still will have a sense of familiarity. That's the interesting part about it. But yet they will be something that's completely new, something that really reminds you of, yes, remember the pages are oftentimes can speak to youth as well. So we have that inner child. And I feel like that's what this person awakens within you, is this feeling of your inner child, of being able to be expressive and fun and wild and free, right? And we also have the Ace of Cups here as well. As we know, the Ace of Cups is usually indicative of a brand new love, okay? Because aces speak to pure potential and something brand new appearing in your reality. So I do feel, again, there's something known that's tried, tested, and true that you are being asked to release yourself from, and there is something new that will ask for you to be courageous and take a chance on. We also have the Hermit energy as well. So for many of you, if you feel that you have been in a time of resistance or not really being able, again, to make progress, many of you are being asked, remember you had the card ask for help, you're being asked to ask for, or told to ask for, divine guidance and assistance, to ask for a sign, to go within, to close your eyes and to make silence within so that your soul may speak to you, right? For many of you, if you've meditated, I feel like it might have been some time since you last did. Or, you may, again, need to go and reconnect more with nature, as you did have the retreat card, okay? This is going to help to clear the mental headspace so that you can see things more clearly. Okay, so Aquarius, let's go ahead and clarify a couple of things, and then we'll close the reading out with some oracles. I'm going to use the Sexual Magic Tarot to see anything else we can get about these connections that you may be experiencing. So we have the Wheel, we have the Ten of Cups, okay, which is, again, I mentioned here, the arch in the background, right? So what I feel like is that for many of you, because in this particular Ten of Cups, it's interesting because this man's walking away. So perhaps with this person, this soulmate of your past, okay, Aquarius, for some of you, this person could have chosen to walk away from you. You could have extended yourself in some way, or, and if that is the case, just know that that is indeed no reflection of you. This is totally how this person chose to conduct themselves, because you're appearing as this energy of this woman here, and she's the one who's offering a fruit to this man. She has that bowl of fruits right next to her, again, indicating you are that Queen of Pentacles. You are the abundance. You are the one who has much to offer, many things that you bring to the table in terms of love, connections, who you are, etc. And this person chose to ignore it. They chose to resist you or walked away or something like this. And I feel like that put you in a place of, perhaps, even though you were surrounded by all this abundance, even though you are amazing and beautiful yourself, you could have felt as though you couldn't see it, or that, this love was very far away from you now. But I feel like this is indicating that there is going to be a wish fulfilled for you and for this new person coming towards you. And with the Wheel, we know that the Wheel, again, it's more energy that just indicates that many of you are closing out a chapter and about to begin a new one. Okay. And I feel like you're shedding old skins, you are leaving behind past versions of yourself and coming into more alignment with who you genuinely are. And this is being found through the energy of your inner child, of many beautiful energies within you that have been suppressed for a long time, finally being broken open and let free. So please give me one card here. We also have the Strength card, which is Leo energy. Perhaps some of you have strong Leo placements in your chart. And that's what's interesting as well, because I believe that it's Leo and Aquarius that are on the opposites from each other on the zodiac. And these can speak to two very different elements. And as you see that this woman here is taming this beast, the beast really just speaks to, really more than anything, the physical, the flesh, being able to use the conscious willpower in order to steer your chariot, being the body, right? And being able to have your mind and your body work together as one in union. So what I feel like is that maybe there was some reluctance where mentally you felt prepared to move forward, but you know, subconsciously things may have held you back in terms of this past connection. But this is showing that you are having compassion and empathy for yourself and allowing yourself to heal by recognizing the gift and now being free, recognizing that you have come into, again, deeper union with your true self, with your authentic self. And so therefore it gives you more clarity on what's truly meant for you and who's truly meant for you. So please give me one more card here. We also have the Four of Pentacles. Okay. I do feel that this is interesting because this indicates an energy of somebody who is holding back, meaning that even if they have emotions or feelings or desires for somebody indicated by that fire burning in the background, you know, this woman's asleep, right? And this man is observing her in her sleep or her unawareness, if you will. And I feel like this could be, again, this energy of this person from the past. They could be already in a place of observing you, but still choosing to hold back. Or that was how the situation played out, is despite the fact that this person did hold emotion, despite the fact that they did have emotions or feelings for you, they chose to be resistant. They chose to stay in a lack mentality of holding their love back. It almost seems as though this person operates from a place of feeling that, you know, it's really sad if somebody has a lack mentality, especially surrounding love, because that means that the second that they feel threatened or that they feel that, you know, things aren't going in their favor, they will retract their love and they can become very resistant and cold, right? Because we have let go of control issues here as well. So, you know, it could seem that this person, if they have resisted you in any sense, it could have been in order to have control over the situation, especially if this person is appearing as the Devil energy. This is oftentimes an energy that is excessive, meaning that this person, you know, the two of you could have shared a very passionate connection, and then, you know, they could have either manipulated you in different ways or just been able to pull at your heartstrings. And, you know, it does seem as though this person, though, unfortunately, they still review love from a one-sided thing of like a one-sided perspective, rather than seeing it as something that is in union. Okay, meaning that it seems as though this person, they very much desire to it's almost as though their greatest concern is about preserving themselves. Okay. So please give me one more card here. We also have the Moon. Okay. So again, the Moon energy, we have it showing here twice. And as it is subconscious energy, it can speak to going into a place of disillusionment or self-deception. Okay. And remember how I mentioned that for many of you, it seems that you will have the option between two people in the future here. Do you see how this woman or this man, regardless of whatever way you look at it, it's almost like the same people, but reflected in different lights. So it's almost as though one of these people may fulfill you more emotionally, as one woman is holding up a cup, and one other person may fulfill more of the ego, if that makes sense, because this other woman here is holding the mirror, which can speak to reflection or even vanity, right? And perhaps you're recognizing that this person of the past, there may have been a more superficial connection between the two of you, where you are now in need of something that is much more authentic and transparent and true to who you really are. Okay, so I feel that for many of you, you know, this is kind of where that switch is being made. And it could be very well that this devil energy, they can feel that their power or their grip upon you is being loosened or even completely released, as we see these strings here that is attached to this person who looks like they're in distress. And, you know, once that devil energy, that Saturnic energy, Saturn's all about control, right? Saturn is also the law. It's about restriction. It's about having order, right? Saturn is very much the old God concept, right? The unchanging God concept. So, you know, he doesn't like for things to be changed. He doesn't like for progress. Saturn energy is actually very different from Aquarius energy. And even collectively, Saturn is in Aquarius as we speak. So this is really a time where we're going to see a lot of technological advancement and progress in the ultimate consciousness. And what I'm feeling like is, for a lot of you, there's definitely a major shift that's taking place in your subconscious mind regarding, you know, just the mental programming that you've had throughout your life, how you, the information that you consume and all of these different type of things. It's either changing dramatically or it has changed dramatically. As I mentioned, for some of you, when you reflect upon your past, you actually, it's almost as if you were a completely different person than who you are now. And in doing so, you know, it almost seems as though this devil energy may very well be appearing as this Knight of Swords of wanting to make a return, because, you know, they may not necessarily want this progress to fully happen, which is unfortunate. Because if they are Shiva, the destroyer, again, this is the divine masculine in his lower polarity. And it seems as though with this person of the past, perhaps you are recognizing, for many of you Aquarius, that they're only really able to bring destruction into your life, and that you no longer can accept or tolerate that anymore. And so this is why that phase or that cycle is being ended out, okay? We also do have the Tower on the bottom here. So this Tower could be read in a variety of different ways, but I feel more than anything, you know, it's almost interesting because it feels like with this individual of the past, they're being awakened to the possibility or the potential that you could have other options, okay? And this might be something that makes them feel defensive, or even that, you know, they may have to do things behind your back, okay? Or maybe this person did actually do something behind your back, and this is why you recognize that this person brings with them a lot of destruction, a lot of instability, okay? And I do feel that there's someone here who definitely reminisces upon the past, as we have the Six of Cups appearing here twice. You know, it could be for this individual that they are seeing a photo of the two of you that they have, or something like this, an item that they may have kept of yours or something. And, you know, it could be serving as a reminder to them, and making them want to come forward to you. But what's interesting is that, you know, with the Two of Pentacles and two Knights appearing here before this Queen of Pentacles, both coming forward with a gesture, with an offer, the choice really lies in your hands. And I feel for many of you, you know, you will be taking a chance perhaps with this Knight of Cups, with something that's brand new, right? As we did see the Ace of Cups appearing as well in this reading, you know, that does remind us that, you know, of something to do with brand new love. So I don't feel that many of you will be returning to your past. Okay, so let's go ahead now. And yes, right, that was the Ace of Cups. I was like, I'm sure we saw it in the reading. Something, of course, too, that is going to spark your curiosity and really inspire you as well. That could be the inspiration that you need also. That will be coming your way. Okay, so finally, Aquarius, let's close out this reading with one last oracle. I'm going to use Bless Me. So please give me one card for my Aquarius. Thank you. So we have a blessing for solace and hope. Okay, we'll go ahead and actually read this card here for you. All right. A blessing for solace and hope. I really love this deck. It's by Lucy Cavendish. But let's see here. What is the final message for my beautiful Aquarius? All right, it says, this is a blessing for solace, the comfort that comes in the form of good fortune, strange little moments that bring you back to the sense that the universe is a place where you are cared for, considered, and important. And that the solace brings you hope for the future and anticipation of fair things that life will continue to bring to you. Solace is the balm and the antidote to the wounds that life can deliver. It is not personal, for being here is a great gift, and we live in times where, in many ways, we are safer than we have ever been before. But we are fed a diet of hopelessness from our cultures and media sources until we become overwhelmed with the troubles that seem to surround us. This blessing is for you to find your way back to sweetness, for the flower in the bud to release the sweetness, for you to notice the shimmer of light upon water, the sheer pleasure of movement, the ease of a mind no longer racing over problems to be solved, but soft, intelligent, allowing the calm of life to steal back into your soul. This is the solace that keeps our hopes alive, the gift of good fortune that reawakens the candle of optimism that is within us, and the delight in the sheer whimsy of being here and being alive. It is to understand that there may be little control, but we are no longer mere pawns in this life. We are here, we have our place in the world, and simply with our breathing in and out, we matter, and we are doing enough. To find solace is to bring peaceful moments, small connections, to notice the thousands of gifts life has conferred upon us, and it is to again invoke the divinity of existence, without the fear of the future. Let hope give you lightness, draw away the pain, and open you up again to the possibilities, until you begin once again to relish in the simple, voluptuous truth of being alive. Blessed be. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius. I really do hope that it helps and that it resonates with you. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and do share this video with any Aquariuses out there that you feel may be helped by it or that would resonate with it. And until I see you all again in a few weeks, I am wishing you the greatest of love and healing. Until next time, my friends.